Peace and blessings, love and light, and welcome to day 130 of the 365-day challenge. It's your girl Kim, and happy Self-Care Saturday. I hope that you all are having a spectacular day so far, and that you're sprinkling some of that self-love and self-joy all over yourself as we continue with making wellness a habit. Hopefully you are getting in the groove of your habits. We've been 130 days in, and so hopefully you've mastered one of your habits or several of them at this point, and we're just going to continue in that vein. Okay, today here in Atlanta, we had a little bit of an earthquake this morning. I was sitting here doing my meditation at my kitchen table, and all of a sudden it felt almost like a tree hit the ground. You just felt a little bump, and I looked around and I was like, what was that? And then I started receiving a few phone calls from friends from out of state, and they were like, did you experience an earthquake? And I was like, that's what that was. Something was a little unsettled, and then all of a sudden it stopped, and I was just like, what was that? And I wasn't certain. But it's interesting. Sometimes a little shakeup happens and we're not quite certain of what it is. And then when we find out, then we can relax a little bit and go about the course of our day. That's nature, okay? But before I get into that, let's get into today's letter for the ABCs of self-care. And today's letter is J, and J stands for joy. And it says, joy is a state of being that requires nurture in the form of gratitude and trust. It always requires that you get very comfortable with uncertainty, because the circumstances both within you and external to you can change. So when you feel that warm glow of joy radiate from within, really feel it and let it carry you through everything that follows. And then one of the suggestions that they give is that sometimes when we're doing our routines, our joy can become dormant because we become robotic in some of the things that we do. And that's not what habits or what, routines are intended to do. So every now and then, just like that earthquake shook us up a little this morning, we need to shake things up in our routine. Do something a little different. Add a little pizzazz. Just like when we were talking about habit stacking, we're adding something new and something fresh to something that we may be doing, just so that way it doesn't cause our joy to become dormant or to become, just something that falls by the wayside. We want to keep things fresh and new and exciting. This is an age of technology and information, so there's always something new and exciting that we can learn or do. We talk about going out into our community. We have holidays that are coming up. The spring is here. Summer is fast approaching, and there are a lot of activities and things that we can get involved in to shake up our routine. My daughter and I and my granddaughter are going to be doing a couple of errands today in lieu of Mother's Day, and going to make a couple of visits to some friends. So we're going to shake things up a little bit on this Saturday, and we're not going to let that little earthquake deter us from the plans that we had set for today. Because as you know, we've only got 6 more shopping days to my birthday. So we are getting geared up for that here at my home, and looking forward to another rotation around the sun and another opportunity and another year to continue to make wellness a habit. And so with that, I say sprinkle love, self-love, and self-care all over yourself today. Enjoy the day, seize the day. Think about doing something new or doing something different today that you haven't normally done, just to shake things up and bring that joy back in. And until I see you guys tomorrow, I say peace.